Most of us have enough stuff to get us through the first few days of a power outage. We have some water, we have some canned goods, and we can make it for about a week. But what happens when day 8 rolls around and the lights are still off? What do you do when that first week of supplies is gone? The truth is, if the lights aren't on by day 14, we are no longer in a power outage blackout situation. We are in a real world SHTF situation. The neighbors are going to be acting differently. Your house is definitely going to be smelling a lot different. And the things that you did days 1 through 7 are not going to work anymore. So today, we're going to walk through what days 8 through 14 are going to look like and what you need to be doing to prepare for a 2-week-long blackout. Day 8, and I would imagine that your house is smelling pretty bad right now and the air quality inside sucks pretty hard. There is a silent but deadly killer lurking inside your home. 8 days of not flushing any toilets and not using your sinks, yeah, all the traps underneath your sinks and underneath your toilet are now dry, and all of that sewer gas can now move straight into your home. Not only does it smell bad, but it can cause some serious respiratory issues. Please don't pour your valuable water down the drains to try and fill those back up again. My recommendation is going to be that all the sinks that you're not actively using, you want to go ahead and either tape those drains off or take the covers off and stuff a rag down inside them. For your toilet, it's a little bit easier. Well, you can remove the toilet and stuff a rag down in there, but you could just simply cover the toilet with a trash bag and do a lot of duct tape around the bottom to keep that air or keep that sewer gas trapped inside. Seasonally, whether it's cold or high humidity, your breath in the cold is going to put a lot of condensation on the cold surfaces, and this can lead to bacteria growing. Same thing with humidity. If the inside of your house is really wet, it can start creating black mold, and well, that's going to kill you. If we're in high humidity, then the sweat on our skin is not going to be pulled away, and therefore everything that we're in, our sleeping bags, our tents, under a blanket, or even in our clothes, is just going to be saturated with icky, smelly, sweaty grossness. Stagnant air is disgusting, and it actually can kill you. So if you have the ability to open a couple of windows to get some cross ventilation, you really need to be doing that. Move that air out of your house. And please, for the love of God, if it's cold and you're running heaters inside your home, please crack a window or something just to allow some fresh air in. You do not want to not wake up in the morning. Having your place smell good is definitely a morale booster, because anybody who has to go to sleep or do daily operations inside of a place that smells like sewage or smells like rotting, it's a morale killer, and it's just going to make you want to leave or just give up in general. Day 9 is food safety and taking care of your brain. If you're 9 days in and you haven't had a bite of food in a little while, your brain is going to start starving. You're literally going to start making mistakes, and those mistakes could lead to your injury or death, or the injury or death of someone who's inside your mutual assistance group. You have to remember that our brains use 20% of all the calories that we ingest. You're going to forget to lock your doors. You're going to forget to turn off valves. You may forget to blow a candle out, and disastrous things can happen. By now, your fridge and your freezer probably aren't going to be working anymore, so you need to get the food that you have. Now is great because here in the Northeast, it's wintertime out. We can put that meat and stuff into a cooler and leave it outside. The cooler will actually protect from the sub-freezing temperatures and not, like, rock hard freeze that meat. Meat that's been thawing or kind of stewing in the high heat and the high humidity levels. Can you smell it? Oh my God. You got to get that stuff out of your house. You may want to eat it, but you got to go, and you want to get that stuff at least 50 feet away from your house. We still have to eat. So if you have canned vegetables or anything like that, not only do you want to be eating the vegetables, but you also want to be drinking the liquid from those cans. It's going to be good hydration and some good electrolytes, and we do not want to be throwing that stuff away. Make sure you're eating a lot of high-fat foods, or have a few spoonfuls of peanut butter before you go to bed, because that fat is going to help you regulate your body temperatures in the freezing cold. We may also have to go out and hunt, and every calorie you expend on a hunt is a calorie that you're probably not going to get back. Without an active situation, in the best of conditions, going out to try and harvest an animal, your failure rate is over 90%. So if you're looking for some type of game, get traps out that are going to work for you. Leg hold traps, snares, whatever you need to do. Or if you live in a place in a rural environment, be sitting outside with a rifle or a bow, and when something comes by, put her down. A topic not often covered in these so-called situation things is our pets. And we have to still feed our pets. And if we have that dog food, if we have those dog food stores, we need to be keeping those in sealed containers. Otherwise, the hungry mice and the hungry rats and the hungry whatevers are going to come in, and they're going to eat that dog food. And we don't want that happening. We do not want pests inside our home. And lastly, if you are in fact hungry and you haven't eaten a lot, you need to double check everything. You need to be writing things down, what you're doing and when you're doing it, because I'm telling you, I've been in these situations before. It really messes with your head and it can cause really bad things. Your clothes is dirty and your body is definitely filthy by now. You're filthy. And in the cold, all of that salt sweat is actually killing your chances of becoming better insulated. And in the heat, well, then we're gonna get rashes, and those rashes, like, well, I mean, let's just say it here, boys, swamp ass, that stuff can lead to some really gnarly infections. You can also get what's called heat rash, which is where your gross clothes and your gross body are rubbing against each other and causing, well, a rash. And it's itchy and dirty. I've had it. It's awful. There's things we can do about cleaning our clothes without actually using any of the precious water that we need. We can do what's called a dry scrub, which is pretty much where you're just rubbing the fabric together, which is loosening up all the dirt and the nastiness, and then you just shake it out, and they're cleaner than they were. If you have a fire pit going, you can actually get a smoky fire going, and you can actually clean the bacteria out of your clothing with wood smoke. If you've never experienced trench foot, I don't recommend you go out and try and get it. If you can, take your boots off, take your socks off for at least 2 hours every day and let your boots dry and let your feet dry, because if you can't walk, and you won't be able to walk if you have trench foot, you're going to die. Sock rotation is super important. I own more pairs of socks than I do boots, shoes, pants, jackets, or hats. You always need to have one pair drying, one pair on your feet, and one pair on your person somewhere so that you can change your socks if your feet get wet. As far as your body goes, you need to be cleaning yourself as best you can. If your wife's into it, have her give you a little sponge bath every now and again. Just get that icky nastiness off of you. It takes 5 minutes. And as long as we're talking about hygiene, we need to be cleaning everything in our home as best we can. We're prepared people. We got bleach kicking around, so you want to make a mixture of at least 50% bleach, 50% water, have a dish rag, and constantly be wiping down all of the surfaces that you're either doing food prep on or cleaning your clothing on. Make sure those surfaces are as clean as you can possibly get them. I know how much you all love your neighbors, and I know how much you think you're going to rely on them, but it's day 11. The we're in this together phase is dead. People are going to be auditing your house. These are the times where you need to be invisible. Remember that when your neighbors come by to check in and see how you're doing, they're also checking to see what you have and what they don't have, and maybe possibly what your weaknesses are, and realistically, what they can take from you. Don't let them through the door. Talk at the door. Talk outside. Do not let them into your secure perimeter so that they can put eyes on what you have going on. If you are fortunate enough to have a trusted neighbor, someone you trust with your life and you trust with your family's life, have a signal of some kind. Whether it's, you want to let them know that you're okay, so maybe you put a rock on a fence post or take a piece of chalk and write on the side of your building. Let your neighbor know that you're okay inside your home. If we're in the heat, we really do need to be having our windows open, but that's where we need to remember our noise discipline. Sound travels very far, so keep your kids quiet, keep your pets quiet, and try and talk as less as you can, which is hard for me because I love talking. Once that sun sets, you are going to be zero footprint. No fires, no music, no loudness, no generators, nothing. You are going completely dark. By day 12, most of us, especially you city dwellers, are going to be a little low on H2O. If you're new to my channel, I say it a lot, and I'm going to tell you now that sources of water, places where you're going to go collect water, are the most dangerous spots you are ever going to venture to in a situation. Everybody needs water to survive, so the local watering hole, the local stream, your chances of running into other people are extremely high, 80% or more. Those people could be a lot more sophisticated than you are, and they could follow you back to your place without you knowing and raid it and take everything that you have. So when you go, recon the place out ahead of time. Use your drone, go on foot, sit, wait, watch. You have to make 100% sure that there's nobody else there collecting water. You got to remember that water's heavy. A 5-gallon bucket of water weighs 42 pounds. Carrying that by hand is going to smoke you, so you need to have some way to bring that water from your water source back to your place. Don't filter your water on site. Get it, get home, and do all your filtration back at the safety and security of your group or your bug-in location. The reason being is that you might not need all of that water to drink. You might need some of it to clean your clothes or clean your body or do some dishes or something like that. And we don't want to be using our purified, drinkable, potable water for cleaning dishes or cleaning our bodies. You guys got to start your planning for water right now because it's crucial. We need it to survive, and we are going to run out of it a lot faster than you think we're going to run out of it. 13 days without power, whether it's cold or hot, you're running out of ways to stay warm or stay cool. If we're talking about sub-freezing temperatures, you do not want to be trying to heat your entire house. You want to partition off one room and one room only and have all of your heat inside that space. The exact opposite if it's too hot. Pull those barriers down, let that air flow throughout your home. If you run out of ways to heat your home, there are some things that you can do to make sure that you're surviving the cold nights. You can make a blanket for it. Put your couches together, put some blankets over the top of it, sleep underneath that so that you trap that level of warm air down closer to your bodies. If it's super hot out, not humid, but hot, one of the things that I learned you can do is you can actually take a sheet, dunk it into a bucket of water, get it soaking wet, open a window, and hang that sheet over the window. As the air comes through that wetness, it's actually going to cool the air as it passes through and therefore cool your house down. There's your free tip for the day. Running out of firewood sucks. I'd rather have a small little tiny fire that just kind of warms my body up real quick than have a big roaring fire that's keeping my whole house warm. Same thing goes for oil consumption. If I'm running a generator, eventually the oil's going to run out. So I want to make sure that we're monitoring every little bit of fuel consumption. Cooking wise, we kind of want to go with what I call, or what I guess a lot of people call, is the one pot rule. Use one pot for the food for everybody around you. And don't forget your pets. You can bring your dog into your sleeping bag. My dog, Ruby, the farting is going to smoke you out, but her body warmth is going to warm my body up. It's the way to go. Day 14, and this is our figure it the fuck out day. When we're 2 weeks in, that rush of adrenaline that we got the first few days of we're prepared, we know what we're doing, is gone. And the dire reality is now setting in that we could potentially die. We need to be doing a hard inventory of the gear that we have, and we cannot guess at this. You need to count every bean, every pea, every MRE, every match, every gallon of water, every battery. It all has to be counted and written down in a book. After that initial 7-day chaos, is our gear still good to go? Repack your stuff, sharpen your knives. If you can zero your red dots and your scopes, do it now. Check your windows, check your doors. Turn your base or your handheld radio on for at least an hour every day. See if you can get some information from the outside world. 14 days in, we have to be extremely serious about our waste disposal. Where is our food going? Where is our human waste going? This is most important. Start making a plan for your waste on day 1, not day 14. And one thing that I always do, regardless of the situation, is I write down in my Write in the Rain what failed. What did I do wrong? What is something that I did on day 1 or day 5 that today or 2 weeks from now is going to get me killed? I have personally survived longer than 14 days without infrastructure power, meaning there's no power coming down the lines. But we did have a generator and we had plenty of fuel to keep the house running. And did it suck? Yes, but was it as bad as what we're all envisioning is going to happen? No. If you take time to plan for this stuff now, it's really going to pay you dividends when the shit actually hits the fan. What are your thoughts on all of this? What does your 14-day survival period look like? What are you going to do on day 10? What are you going to do on day 14? Are you planning on bugging out, or are you planning on staying put for the long haul for, ever, I guess? Please subscribe to the channel. Please comment. Please like. Please hit the hype button. Thank you so much to all the new people that we got over on Patreon from last week's video. Remember, the best time to prepare was yesterday. Second best time is today. My name is Will, call sign PC Actual. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. If you're the diehard fan who made it this far into the video, I'm just going to tell you, next week's video is going to be lit. Next week's video is going to be 5 minutes to bug out. Oh yeah, I'm going to get a whole bunch of gear together. My wife's going to start the timer, and I'm going to have 5 minutes to gather all of that gear, get it in the truck, and get out of Dodge. It's going to be a good one.